fashion event. And so it took a lot of patience. It was where you want to give up. That's when you realize, okay, this is the moment. And I think patience is something that we can all obtain, something we can all learn from any situation. So I want to give you all a little message to leave you all with before you log out. I hope everyone had a great time. I went ahead and tagged the YouTube link so that way you all can copy it and share it on Facebook. You can always watch it. I know there was some delays. We're still working out our kink. But again, thank you so much for being a part and thank you for your patience. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Jhaza Amari. I am currently Miss Gardena USA on the journey to becoming Miss California USA. And after graduating high school with a 3.7 GPA, I went on to study fashion design. Once I realized fashion was in the bag, I wanted to pursue dance education. So I went to El Camino College and the hopes of obtaining my associate's degree in dance. Currently, I am on the Meta Major board with El Camino in the hopes of bridging the gap amongst dance, fashion design, and cosmetology. Now, speaking of cosmetology, I was blessed to have a beautiful mother. Those of you who know her, and her name is Nika. She's a licensed cosmetologist. And one of the things about her, she had a dream that was so beautiful. It was my name, Jhaza. She had my name in a dream. And I think it's important to dream big because you never know what or who that person can become. My dream is that everybody comes out and they use their voice. Because when I was born into this world, I was using my voice. My mom says I came out into the world crying, and the doctors were like, listen to her. I'm not crying. She said I came out talking. She's shaking her head no. I came out talking, not crying, actually. I was not a normal baby. I came out talking instead of crying, and the doctors were like, listen to her, listen to her. And so when I was born, my name was Jhaza. She had it in her dream, and I came out talking. And so I know I have a gift to inspire other people to use their voice because I was using my voice at a young age. As it relates to giving back, I am currently the CEO of AFIT Models Dance Movement. That is a nonprofit organization for boys, girls, and adults. It's a mentoring organization where we model, we dance, we be expressive, and again, I encourage everybody to use their voice. We do things like this, which is for the first time a virtual fashion show, but for over 5 years I've been producing fashion events. We'll have vendors, models, talent, anybody come out and just express themselves. So that's what I do. As it relates to giving back, I just want everybody to feel loved. I want everybody to know that they are loved, and I want everybody to just use their voice. If you don't take anything from this, use your voice. God gave you a voice, use it. A couple weeks ago, I was in Florida. I was in a whole other state, and this is before we turned this event into a virtual event. And I was outside about to go get some ice cream with my homegirl Brandy. Actually, she's logged in. And I got a call from Brother Ben, and he was saying that we have to go virtual now with the CDC cutting things down. And in that moment, I was devastated. I was crying. I'm very sensitive because, you know, that's just who I am. I'm a very sensitive person. I had no words. And in that moment, I realized, you know, I have to adjust to change. It's something that we don't want to do because we're so used to controlling a lot of things. Like, for example, with the computer, I wanted to be on the spot, 1:30, come in, have everything together, but 30 minutes later, we're still trying to get things going, and that's a lesson in itself. It teaches you patience. It teaches you that you are not in control of everything, and to let go of control, and to remember to breathe, and let Mother Nature do her or his thing, however you identify with Mother Nature. Having faith during changing times requires letting go of control. Therefore, we must adjust and put on a new attitude. We need to stand in our truth, let go of control, and take time to fully heal. Now, I have a scripture for you. For those of you who are taking notes, my subject for today is bounce back with a smile. As I told you a couple weeks ago, I was in Florida and I was devastated about us having to go virtual and us not being able to be in Leimert Park and showcasing the talent in person. So I had to quickly shift gears and figure out how I was going to do this. That same night, I ended up uploading the Eventbrite tickets and setting the registration, and immediately people started getting those tickets. So I knew that was my adjustment. And so a couple weeks after that, I had a conversation with Brother Benny. He says, you know, you're gonna go really far. Your bounce back game is pretty strong. And it's like you bounce back with a smile. And I was like, that's gonna be my subject. That's what I'm gonna talk about. Because that's exactly what happened. I had to bounce back because I was crying. I was like, really like, oh my God, no, like what? What do you mean? The show is less than 2 weeks away. Like how swear. So bounce back with a smile is the subject. And I'm coming from 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. And God says that he did not give us the spirit of fear, but of a sound mind and a right heart. Okay? He did not give us the spirit of fear. We come with power, we come with love, and we come with a sound mind. And so the first thing we need to do is stand in our truth. And what that means to me is acknowledging exactly how you feel. In that moment, if you feel frustrated, you need to acknowledge it instead of suppressing it. If you feel angry, you should acknowledge it. In that moment, I was crying, so I was quiet, and I acknowledged it, but a couple hours later, we keep it going. You have to acknowledge how you feel in order to stand in your truth. You must understand psychosocial trauma. And psychosocial trauma is something that stems from our past experiences. We all have different traumas. Sometimes it's from our forefathers, from our ancestors. Sometimes it stems from our parents. Sometimes we make up these things from the constructs of what society feels we should be or act like. And we form into this person that is not really us. And we become robotic. And so when we have these moments of rebellion, our lashing out, our triggers, those are stem things from psychosocial trauma. And in this generation, the way we heal that is through art. So drums, singing, dancing, through fashion, through painting, whatever it is that helps you be expressive, through meditation. Those are ways that you get closer to being the best version of you and healing from psychosocial trauma. Y'all tracking with me? Give me a thumbs up. You tracking? You tracking with me? Okay, good. And we have to understand that God's rejection was for our protection. God's rejection was for our protection. A lot of times we cry over things that we did not get. A girl, a man, a car, that house. It wasn't meant for you. Because later down the road, you're going to figure out why it wasn't meant for you. Even if you don't, you have to trust the process. That thing that you wanted so bad may not be for you. It's not. And so we have to take that into consideration. When I was in the modeling industry, before I started having my own organization, I would go to go-sees, I would go to casting calls, and I would always get denied. I would always get rejected. I would go to Wilhelmina, Elite, Ford. I would fly to New York. I went to America's Next Top Model in San Francisco, and all of these different cities, and I would get rejected. And I would be sad about it. I'm like, man, what's the problem? And I would never have known that God would prepare me to be doing something like this for the community, because this is my purpose. Everybody has their own purpose. And once we realize that, we're not going to trip over the things that we did not get. That rejection was for our protection. Second is letting go of control. What letting go of control means to me is being vulnerable. What is being vulnerable? Letting go of your pride, letting go of your ego, putting down that sense of I have to be in control and power all the time, and being okay with, okay, well, I'll just control the things that I can control, and whatever Mother Nature has for me, I'm just going to jump in that train and then ride the wave. I'm not going to try to control every little thing. So you have to be vulnerable. You must, everybody knows this one. Attitude determines altitude. If you have a negative attitude, you're going to have a negative outcome, because you attract whatever you put out. So your attitude determines how high you will go, your altitude. If you want to go higher, you have to switch gears, bounce back with a smile. You know what I'm saying? You can't stay in a dry place for too long. Attitude determines your altitude. And you want to be in an incubator season. So this is a season where you need to elevate. This is a season where you need to level up. This is incubator season. So birthing that idea, birthing new things, planting that business, sowing that seed. It's time to incubate. Here I'm at Chaos Network. This is an incubator. So wherever artists feel like they want to produce something, wherever they want to, have an idea, this is where we can birth that new idea. It's incubator season. So it's time to get into your gear, get into that drive mode. And finally, we should take time time to fully heal. Now, I don't think everybody knows what that really means when you should take time to fully heal. As I mentioned, psychosocial trauma is a thing, it's serious. When you take the time to fully heal, sometimes you have to go from the root. It's just like a plant. I have an aloe vera plant, right? Someone had gifted it to me. It used to be my neighbor. And the aloe vera plant was tipping over to the side. And I had it for like a couple weeks, and I'm like, it's not growing, something's not right, the pot is dirty, the soil is nasty, it was just not growing. And so what I had to do is, I had to go get some new soil, I had to get a new pot, and now that same exact aloe vera plant, it has 3 new aloe vera plants growing because I changed the root. Sometimes we think that we're too grown, sometimes we think we're too old to go back to the foundation, so that way we can set the foundation straight, so that way we can rise to the top. But I'm here to tell you that you can start all over. You have power over your root. If you go back to the root, you will have a better outcome. And so you have to go back from the root in order to fully heal. Second, you must stand in boldness. Many times, like I said, the constructs of beauty, the constructs of society weighing us down, we conform into that idea of who people want us to be instead of who we were called to be. And so this is the season where we have to stand in boldness. We have to stand in our truth and understand, I am who I am. I am Jhaza Amari. I'm not perfect, and I am okay with that. Every day I'm growing and I'm standing in my boldness. This is who I am. So you have to be who you're called to be. And you must be expressive. As I said, ways of healing the psychosocial trauma through art, through drumming, coming to Leimert Park, going into those drum circles, those are ways that you can heal. When I got back from Florida, I knew that I was in a place mentally where I wanted to be elevated and take my meditation to a higher practice because I knew some chaos was going to come. So I got myself a singing bowl. You have to figure out what works for you. If it's taking some singing classes, if it's coming to Leimert Park and getting in those drum circles, if it's writing a poem, whatever it is that works for you, you have to get what works for you and sink it in so you can get rooted. Start at the foundation so you can rise up to the top. We need to stand in our truth, let go of control, and take time to fully heal. Having faith during changing times requires letting go of control and adjusting to change. Therefore, we must adjust and put on a new attitude. So as I was saying, when I got back from Florida, where's my CD board? When I got back from Florida, I realized that I was in a space mentally where I wanted to make sure that I'm getting some peace. So I got me a Tibetan bowl. This is a singing bowl. And when I hit it like that, I listened to the vibrations. I'll hit it again. Can y'all hear that? I'll hit it one more time. Now just do it like that. This works for me. I got this on Amazon for like $16. It's little things like this that can heal my psychosocial trauma, that can heal whatever past experiences that I went through. So this can probably heal yours too. Again, my name is Jhaza Amari. Thank you so much for tuning in. Right now, I'm going to take a few questions. If you all have any comments, anything that you would like to say. But before I do that, where's Brother Ben? Did you leave out? I was going to bring in Brother Ben. You all can unmute your mics. Say hi. If you have any questions or comments. I really thank you so much for your patience and just logging in. It was my first time doing this. He's coming? Okay. Yeah, so questions.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and if you all want to donate to the Leimert Park Foundation, if you want to donate to AFib Models, those tickets on Eventbrite are still available. Brother Ben, would you like to say a few words? I have the owner of Chaos Network here, this beautiful incubator space that I'm in. He's going to share some words with you.
I'll pull this down for the moment.
Yeah.
This place is an incubator that I've had since 1984. It's I call it a jewel box. It's a jewel box that has diamonds, pearls, and all of that in it, and we've been able to produce people out of this of the likes of when I first opened, from Yo-Yo on the rap scene to Label Makara, who did Lion King. that was how we busted out first. And then our more recent celebrities out of our place is not only Jhaza, but our more recent one is Ava DuVernay. She was one of our folks that performed in this space. So that was called Project Blowed. I've been doing it now for 25 years. And right now, what I would like to get people ready for is that we're going aggressively against what the word gentrification is about, and kind of repurpose it by looking into the future and answering through this incubator problems that we know are going to come in the future. So we're answering them presently, visually, and through college studies and things like that. So I'm working with USC Incubator Space through their innovation lab. I'm working through Art Center's innovation labs, and I'm working through UCLA's innovation labs as a way to kind of work out with people who have their master's degrees and their doctorates are working toward this more. I'm wanting people who are serious, not just jumping in and out of it, and it's their way of life. So that's where we are now, and we have a little scooter, a shuttle that's moving around the neighborhood. We're doing a longitudinal 4-month study on how to move through the community by just calling in, and it's called Circuit. So please, it's called Circuit, like a circuit, and you hook up with it, and they'll come and pick you up, and it's for free. And talk to them, and then we'll later do a study to see how we can better take care of your needs that way. Because how I'm eventually trying to wire them is so there'll be entertainment pods that move around the neighborhood. So, but right now it's just a place to go between point A and point B. But once it becomes autonomous, there's going to be a lot of things that people are wanting to do with their 45 minutes to an hour on moving between point A and point B. And we want to establish how that happens other than just staring at cell phones, but to utilize the cell phone as an engagement piece to do augmented reality, virtual reality, and those types of things. So that's me real quick. All right, and welcome to Chaos. All right. And Chaos, the name comes from where brilliant dreams are born. It's the old term for chaos.
Where brilliant dreams are born is where Chaos Network comes from. So that's Brother Ben Caldwell. Yeah, I want to hear from you all. You could turn your sound on. Let me know what you think. Again, that link is in the chat room. I pasted the YouTube link so you all can go on your own time and rewatch the video. You all can share the video. And yeah, I'm hoping to keep these things going on monthly, once a month, and we'll get everything situated so that way we just go from the beginning right to the end. So let me know your thoughts. Those people who won some things, we're gonna get those things out to you, the earrings, that soap. You got Ashley, my mama, she right here, and then Brandy. So we're gonna get that shit out to you. Let me hear some feedback. How's everyone doing? Any questions? You gotta turn your mic on.
I'm so proud of you. This is such a great video. I love the video. I love the everything.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, you gotta speak into the mic a little bit more.
Hello?
Yeah,
I can
we
hear
can
you
hear you.
now.
But
I
we
think
just
I
need
don't
to
know if
speak
it's
up.
like yeah, you gotta probably like talk into the speaker or something.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I was just saying that I'm really proud of you and the production, the show's very well put together. And I know that, you had some mishaps or some
Technical
because you thought it was going to be in person. And like I told you a few weeks ago, I just love that you're so adaptable and you're willing to make that change. And congratulations, girl.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And it's cool because you're able to tune in. You wouldn't have been able to participate and see the show, and like in live action if it was in person.
And win a prize.
Huh? Yeah, and win a prize, right? Look at that. A whole prize, honey.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Anyone else? Ivan, Zaria. Who else we have in here? I can't really see the names. Oh yeah, I can. It's Pop. Yeah, Pops. Okay, well, if no one else has anything else to say, that is a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you all for being here. Again, the link is in the chat room. It's also on YouTube. I'm gonna post it on my Facebook, so if y'all want to share it, if you want it personally, you can ask me to text the link to you. But that's it, y'all. Thank you for being here.
Good job, bro.
Thanks for y'all patience. I appreciate y'all. I am logging out.
Yes.